Well, good afternoon folks, welcome to another video. We are at Pafos International in Cyprus, and today we're flying the A320neo, first choice aircraft. We're flying for Thomson or TUI Virtual, and the first choice A320 is being used with the Thomson crew, and today's flight, call sign Tomjet 53 Lima, is operating flight Thomson 7353 from Pafos to Birmingham. The scenery you can see in front of you is available on Flightsim.To, free. I think it's by JP. It's a lovely scenery. Try to get some views as we go along to taxi. The aircraft is powered up, ready to go, flight plans loaded, and we are pretty much ready to go now. I'll just give a quick briefing for you. So it's the A320neo. Today we'll be doing the Genoa 1 Romeo departure from runway 11 and climbing initially to 8,000 feet on the SID. Takeoff runway 11. The weather's okay. QNH 1013. Few scattered clouds. We've got a 10 to 12 knot wind coming from 130. So takeoff should be pretty much okay, but it's a climbing right turn to head west. So again, we'll try and get some views for you and see how that goes. We have 145 passengers on board and we have 4 tons of baggage. Fuel today, SimBrief gave us a figure of 14.1 tons. Based on my own estimates and looking at the winds today, I've decided to load 13.1 tons, which I think is still going to be a bit much, because this aircraft uses around 1800 to 2000 kilos per hour, and we're looking at a 5-hour flight, so we should have over 3 tons left if all goes well. The alternate today is Manchester, which is 87 miles away, so we don't need much, maybe need 1500 kilos for that. And yeah, everything looks good, we're ready to go. So we'll take the brakes off. So departure, just before start checklist then. A briefing is completed, cockpit preparation is done, standard is set, ACARS is running, we've got blue sky running to record our flight. Parking brake is just released, fuel and init B is loaded, flex to temp. Well, today's flex is 50, although we'll be doing a toga takeoff. Takeoff speeds today, V1 140, VR rotate is 141 and V2 is 145. Passenger signs are on, beacons on, ATC checked, nose wheel steering's disconnected, windows and doors, flight deck door is locked. So we're ready to push and start. Okay, here we go then, ready to push, and here we go. So pushed at 12:02. So 3 minutes early. As you can see, it's a nice little scenery. It's Freeware. It's really good for Freeware scenery. Lovely little place. And this is the first choice repaint for the fly-by-wire separate A320. And all looking good. Beautiful day. As you can see, there's a helicopter sitting over there, and that's because I have the fly inside helicopter as well in the simulator loaded, so you get to see a chopper, which is nice. And there we go. Okay, brakes on, disconnect the tug. So brakes are on, let's do the engine start, starting number 2. Number 2 is turning. So we're doing the 0.601 fly-by-wire development version at the moment. I've inputted the flight plan manually. So just everything else never seems to work that way. But check the flight plan, all looks good, and can't see any issues with that at all. So we have a light up on number 2. Cut out, that's the starter cutting out. And number 2 is now available and stabilized. Start number 1, please. Number 1's turning. And we have a light up on number 1. Interesting that we get the sound a little bit better on number 1 than we did when we lit up number 2, but there you go. Really wish I could increase the visibility on this clock here. It's pretty dark. Tried all the buttons, can't seem to increase it at all. So it looks like we have a normal start up on number 1. Yeah, it's cut out, starter motor cuts out. What's available and stabilized. Auto brakes, set the flaps. That back to normal. Speed brake armed. Okay, flight controls. You always do this check, always make sure everything works. So ailerons left, neutral, right, neutral, elevators up, neutral, down, and neutral. And follow me through on the rudders. Right, neutral, left, neutral. So flight controls are checked. Back to the engines on there. So we're ready for taxi pretty much. Okay, all looking good. After start checks, please. Ground crew clearance is received, anti-ice not required. Flaps 1 selected. APU, need to turn the APU off. Taxi lights. Park brakes off. So, flaps, APU, Y pump status, ECAM status is checked. So before takeoff checklist down to the line, flight controls are checked. TCAS is set 5200. Load sheet, trims, departure briefing, takeoff data, flaps, ECAM memo, takeoff. We've got a couple of things to do. Let's just do the test. Config test. Yep, that's normal. And we will do the passenger sign thing when we get onto the runway. So after start checks are complete and before takeoff down to the line. So it's a right turn up here, taxi onto the runway and backtrack. Pafos traffic, good afternoon. It's Tomjet 53 Lima. Push and start and taxi onto runway 11 to backtrack and turn for a departure to Birmingham. Okay, that works. As you can see, nice scenery here. Done a nice job. Nice little biplane there. So I think this will take us down to the end of the runway here. Right, so we turn right, entering the runway. Pafos traffic, Tomjet 53 Lima entering runway 11 to backtrack and turn. You can see the lead-in lights there. So checking the left, checking the right. So a left turn. The other side there is the military side, so I'm actually not sure if you're supposed to cross the runway and use that taxiway to backtrack to the hold. But no traffic in the area that we know of, so we use the runway. As I say, lovely day out here. I really like this scenery. It's simple, seems to be accurate, and more than enough to have a decent flight to operate into and out of this airport. The second part of this video, I will do a quick review and have a look at the airport generally, and I will change the daytime, dusk and nighttime settings so you can see what it looks like. But it's lovely. For Freeware, it's lovely. Ding the passengers.
Camera proceeds for takeoff, please.
Thank you. So there is a turning circle there at the end that we can use. So just to confirm, we're online with Flightsim. We're operating real time, real weather, and everything looks okay. Yeah, it looks as though the whole thing is designed to be able to use that taxiway on the right, but it's not a problem. We have plenty of room to turn. Okay, there we are, we're in position and ready. So before takeoff, checklist below the line please. So cabin crew signal has been given, packs are on. We're going to do a packs on takeoff. Lights, double check the lights. Strobes are all on. Checked. And Pafos traffic, Tomjet 53 Lima, rolling runway 11, initial climb 8,000 feet. So we're set to go, time check 12:15. We're stable. Flex, Toga. We're running, airspeed is alive. Try and get it in the middle lee. It's better. Oh, that Ryanair was real. Coming nicely. B1 and rotate. Positive rate. Gear is up. Okay, let's go to autopilot and see if she turns. Yep. Okay, we keep the power on for the moment. I want that speed to come up. There we are, thrust climb. So yes, that's good. So 232 is the flaps up speed we're looking for. $220. $230. Flaps up. Checked. Quick look at the airport back there for you. Beautiful day. Well, there you go, and as we continue the climb out, we'll give you a passenger view look out of the window and see the takeoff again from a different view. See you in a moment. Tomjet 53 Lima is passing 6,000 feet, continuing the climb initially to flight level 180. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, folks. I'm back in the cockpit real time, continuing the climb out now. So selected engage that mode, so we're back in the thrust. So as I say, at the end of this video we will have a little close look at Pafos for you, just kind of do a mini review. So we're passing 8,000, we're just waiting to get past 10,000 as the speed increases, and we'll turn the lights off. Thousand to go. Coming off on 10,000. There we go. So landing lights off, that's all checked there. Beautiful day out there, just a few clouds, nothing serious. And you can see Pafos disappearing in the distance there. Take that to 40 miles. So speed's looking good, engines look fine. So let's change this to fuel. So as I said, we're doing Thompson flight Tom 7353 from Pafos back to Birmingham. But today it's an A320, and so we're using the first choice aircraft and crew to operate this flight on behalf of TUI. So looking at the fuel tanks, the fuel is stabilised, equal in both tanks. Coming up on passing level 14,000 feet now. Let's go up to 340. Which is our cruising altitude. I think we can go up a little higher if necessary. We'll see what the weather does there. Weather most of the way seems to be pretty much okay, but there is some thunderstorm activity over Central Europe. So we'll see how that goes. So only looking good so far. Let's do a quick radio call. Tomjet 53 Lima's crossing Genos, passing level 160, climbing now level 340. A little look at Cyprus there for you. So I hit 20,000 feet, everything looks okay out there. Let's put it on to 80 miles. So no weather on the radar. So when we hit 20,000 feet we'll let the passengers out, and then I will end this part of the video, and you can come back in part 2 and have a little look at the Pafos scenery. and you can also view the takeoff from the passenger view. There's the Ryanair that was parked just up ahead, is now departing. So we do the after takeoff checklist now. Landing gear is up and off, ECAM is checked, no blue, standard is now set and cross checked on both. Right, let the passengers out. And everything's looking good. Well, there you go, folks. As we leave the island of Cyprus behind and continue the climb, I will say goodbye for the moment, and we'll see you in part 2. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you shortly. Bye for now.